Be there now. Tell me, Julia, what is it that you see through the mind's eye? What does that memory look like to you? Where are you?
When I heard about my father's death.
Could you repeat that, please?
When I heard about my father's death.
Okay. So you're hearing about your father's death. Okay. Where are you? Describe your surroundings.
It's my sister, younger sister Carmen, and I were playing in the water in the river.
Okay. And is it day or nighttime there?
It's daytime, late morning.
Okay. How are you dressed there?
I was unclothed, playing in the river with my sister.
Very good.
Yes, we underwear.
Okay. Is your sister to your right or to your left or in front of you?
Kind of fun, splashing water at each other.
Very good. What happens next?
Lady came crying and shouted, Berta, your father got killed.
Okay. And when you heard that for the first time, how did that make you feel? What emotions were you experiencing?
I don't feel any. I feel want to scream. I feel that I want to move, but I can't.
Okay. You want to scream and you want to move, but you cannot. So the fact that you're not able to shout out or not able to move your body, how is that making you feel mentally?
I don't know.
Okay. How is it making you feel emotionally? You're scared. You can't move. You're completely paralyzed. What are the emotions that your lack of movement is causing you to feel?
I feel helpless.
Helpless. Very good. Helpless.
And I want to ask for help, and I cannot talk. I cannot do anything.
Okay. So as you are looking down at your body and you were looking at your sister across from you and you're realizing that you cannot move, you are completely paralyzed, and you've just heard some terrible, terrible news. How are you feeling overall? What is your heart feeling at this time? What are you feeling in your heart?
Sad.
Sadness. And this complete and total paralysis that you are experiencing now, how is that manifesting itself throughout your body? Where do you feel this fear? Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your abdomen? Do you feel it in your head? Where are you feeling this?
more in my head because I want to say something. Want to ask for help. I want to ask, but I cannot.
You want to ask for help, but you can't. And you can feel this in your head. What is this feeling like in your head? Is it a pressure? Does it feel like some sort of block? What does it feel like in your head?
I don't know.
Okay. If you don't think you know, try to make it up. If you made it up, what do you think it would feel like, this fear that is in your head?
It's more like pressure, I would say.
Okay, pressure. Very good. Okay. So what happens next?
My sister grabbed my hand and started dressing me. Got me out of the water and started dressing me, and we started walking to the house.
So
And
as your sister, go ahead.
and she held my hand all the way to the house. My older sister Berta.
Okay, so as Berta is dressing you, taking
Yes.
your hand
Mhm.
and sort of protecting you and bringing you back to the home, what is that?
Yes.
What is that feeling like when you are going through the steps of being dressed and then standing up, having to walk, hold your sister's hand? How is all of that making you feel? I want you to
I
walk through that memory.
I just feel kind of confused and and uh,
Confusion, a lot
yeah.
of confusion. Okay. So as you are walking with her and you're feeling confusion, still trying desperately to figure out what is happening, your sister has you by the hand, you're walking. What happens next?
Uh, we got home. We saw my mom crying.
Okay, your mother is crying.
Yes.
How is that making you feel? Now you've heard this news, or you walk in and you see your mother crying. How does that make you feel, Julia, at that point? You're only 5, but you still have feelings.
We were all crying.
And when you looked at your mother and you saw her crying, let's go back to that and feel those feelings. How did it make you feel to see your mother crying?
Uh, painful, sad.
Painful and sad. Very good. So as people begin to come into the room, you see each one of them crying as well. What is everybody crying about?
About my father's death.
Crying about your father's death.
Yeah.
What is your feeling at 5 or 6 years old when this happened to you? What was your understanding of death then as a 5 or 6-year-old little girl?
that I was not going to see my father again. That uh,
So you,
until then, until then, I don't remember anybody. Like I remember occasions, but I didn't. My father was everything. Like I don't have much memories of my mom other than few occasions that she was talking to my father or things. But other than that, my father was everything.
so that's important. You said your father was everything. So since death at that age meant to you that you would never see him again, how did that make you feel? Your father was everything to you. So how were you feeling that you would not be able to see him anymore?
I feel sad, but I feel his presence with me. Yes, I always felt, and I still feel.
Okay. Let's talk to your father. Let's bring your father forward. Santos, thank you very much for coming. Can you explain what death is like? Do you just completely vanish, never to be seen again? Or do you continue to exist in everybody's life here on this earth? Can you please talk to her and explain to her what happened when you died?
I'm always there.
You're always there. Very good. Can you tell her how you're always there? How does Julia feel when you're there? What sort of signs do you try to give Julia to let her know and to remind her that you're always there?
She thinks about me and she smiles.
Very good. So when
Oh,
Julia thinks about you and she gives that warm smile, she can know it's you.
yes. And the birds in her backyard.
And with the birds in her backyard.
A red cardinal sitting in the deck.
Ah, red cardinal. And Julia already knew this, didn't she?
Yes, she
Yes.
knows.
Yes. So it makes it a little easier for you. So you and Julia always had a very special relationship on this earth. You had a special love.
Yes, she was.
Was this the first life that you and Julia were together, or have there been other lives?
Other lives.
Other lives. Very good. Can you think of a life that you two of you had together that would help this bond to be so strong? Can you show Julia what this other life may have looked like?
I get the sense I was his mother.
Ah, so you think that Julia was your mother. So Julia, you're sensing that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
He,
in your mind's
she,
eye, go ahead.
she died when my father was 8 months old.
So she
That's what
died
that's
when
what
the
I'm sensing. Yeah.
okay, when the father was 8 months old. Very good. Okay. So were there other lives besides that one where the two of you were together in some capacity?
I see a little girl, but long, long, long time ago, running,
A little girl running.
running, playing.
Is Julia that little girl or is Santos that little girl?
I sense it was me.
Okay. Did you have a name there?
First name came to my mind is Lily.
Lily, that's a beautiful name. So look down at your feet. Tell me, is Lily wearing any shoes?
No,
No shoes. How is Lily dressed there?
uh, little white dress. She's blonde. It's very playful, happy.
Is her hair long or short?
It's like a little longer than the shoulder.
Okay. And where is Lily right now? You said Lily is running. Where is she running?
It's a field,
She's in a
field.
field.
Yeah,
Okay.
running, playing with
What is,
flowers.
oh, a field of flowers. Okay, very good. What do those flowers smell like there?
This smells smells just fresh flowers,
Fresh flowers, like
different colors.
like wildflowers.
Yes, yes, different colors.
Okay. And is it a sunny day?
Yes,
And are you playing by yourself or do you have a friend?
I'm playing by myself, but someone is watching me.
Somebody is watching you. Okay. Who do you sense is watching you?
My father.
Okay. Your father. Can you see your father?
No,
Okay.
what I sense is my father.
Okay, you sense it is your father. So you said that you have blonde hair then, and you're running through this field. So obviously, this is a different life for you. Can you sense at all what year it might be, or give a general idea of when this might have taken place?
Long, long,
Long ago. So
long,
more than 100 years?
more like 1800, but I'm not dressed like 1800.
Okay. But you're running through the field in a little dress, right?
Yes, it's a white
A
dress.
white dress, okay. So you're alone, but you don't feel alone because you sense that your father is watching you.
Yes,
If your father is watching you, is he in a body or is he watching you in a different way, not in a human body?
I think it's in a body.
Okay, he's in a body. So you can't see him, but you can sense that he's there in a body.
Yes,
So if you were able to see your father, I would like for you to look into your father's eyes. Eyes are the windows to the soul. And I would like for you to ask, have you seen your father somewhere before? Do you recognize him in this lifetime or in other lifetimes, either as your father or as another human being in your life? Look into his eyes. Tell me what you see, what you feel.
It's my father.
It's your father. Your
He's
father,
laughing to see me play. Like I'm laughing, I'm giggling, running with the flower, like touching the flowers.
okay. Very
And
good.
he's
Very good.
smiling, like,
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, as you are running through that field, laughing and knowing that your father is there, how is that making you feel at that time?
happy, safe, secure.
Happy. Okay, very good. Santos, is there any other life that you'd like for us to go back to, that you might be in a different capacity other than a father? If so, can you show us? Even if you think you're making it up, Julia, let Santos show.
I just go back to his mom.
Goes back to his mother.
Yes,
Okay, to Santos's mother, your grandmother.
yes.
Okay. So has the grandmother stepped in? Is she showing herself?
I have this sense of the presence, but I cannot see.
That's fine, because you are seeing through your mind's eye, not your human eye. So go ahead and sense. What is it that his mother would like to share with you now, Julia?
I can see, I can sense a lot of love.
And sense a lot of love. Very good.
Yes.
Okay. Very, very good. I would like us to close that scene. And Julia, I would like you to go back to when you were in this lifetime as a little girl and you're back in your home. Everybody is crying because you have just heard the news that your father has been killed. 3, 2, and 1. You're there now. Do you see yourself there?
Yes,
Okay, very good. So, Santos, do you see the family crying?
yes,
Okay. And you can see that Julia is scared and crying?
yes. He's holding my hand.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful. And so, Santos, obviously, you wanted for Julia to know that you have been together in many, many past lifetimes, and that some of those lifetimes you were her protector then too. So when you experienced your death in this lifetime, what is it that you would like for Julia to know? If you could speak to that little 5-year-old girl who's so frightened, doesn't know what she's going to do without her father, who is everything. What is it that you would like to tell that little girl? Please speak to her now.
I am always with her. I'm always protecting her.
Very good. And Julia, how does that make you feel to know that your father is always protecting you no matter what?
I I knew this.
You knew this.
I've always felt it.
So
Also.
Santos, right now in Julia's life, she's been having some difficulties with some pretty severe headaches. She's had headaches ever since your death, but they've sort of come and go, and they've gone into different places around the head, and now they've become very, very, very severe. Is there something that you can tell her about these headaches, something that might help her be able to heal from these headaches?
She has too much on her shoulders.
Too much on her shoulders.
She needs to relax.
She needs to relax. So when we are in this lifetime, Santos, as you know, sometimes it's very difficult for us to relax when we feel the stress and the worry about our families and our children. How would you suggest that Julia do this? What's the best way for her to learn to relax so that she can get rid of these headaches?
She knows.
She knows what to do?
Yes.
Okay, Julia. Santos said that you know what to do to help yourself get rid of this stress so that you can rid yourself of the headaches. What is that?
I don't.
Okay, Santos, Julia said she doesn't quite know what it is that she needs to do to get rid of these headaches. Is there a possibility that there is an attachment that is in her head that is causing these headaches?
Yes.
Okay, there is an attachment. What is that? What does that attachment look like? Is it dark? Is it light?
This darkness trying to attack her,
It's darkness
her
trying to
protection, her light. She's bright, but there is darkness trying to attack.
Okay, I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and I want us to talk to this entity that has come into your head that is attacking you. 3, 2, 1. You see the entity now. What is your name? Tell us what your name is. You have come uninvited into Julia's head, and you're causing some headaches. What do you call yourself? Tell me, please, and tell Julia, tell us, how did you come to be? How did you come to be inside her head? What brought you there?
She's too good.
She's too good. So, what do you mean by she's too good? Does this bother you that she's so good?
Yes.
Okay. So, what is when somebody is good, they're either good or they're not. What do you mean by too good? Why is this bothersome to you, Pain?
She has too many strong protections around her.
She has too many strong protections around her. Okay. So, why is this important to you, Pain? What is it about her protection that you don't like?
I want power.
You want power. Okay.
She
What?
doesn't let me.
And she doesn't let you. And so that fight that Julia is having inside her head with you, pain, is causing the headaches.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. So I'd like you to go back and we're going to find the time when you actually entered Julia's head. I want you to go back to that time. And I would like for you to tell Julia how you got there. How did you get into her head? I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and I want you to be there and ready to explain to her how you got there. 3, 2, and 1. How did you get into her head?
Through other people.
Through other people. Okay. So if you were with other people, why didn't you just stay there? What made you decide to go into Julia's head?
I want power.
You want power. Okay.
She
What?
doesn't let me.
And she doesn't let you. And so that fight that Julia is having inside her head with you, pain, is causing the headaches.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Let's go back a little bit. Pain, I need to ask you a question. How does that make you feel that all of these other entities are supporting her and protecting her and helping her to be good? How does that make you feel?
Not here.
Okay. So it makes you feel bad. So why does that make you feel bad? What is it that you want?
I want her.
You want her. Okay, then I want you to be there and ready to explain to her how you got there. 3, 2, and 1. You're there now. How did you get into her head?
Through other people.
Through other people. Okay. So if you were with other people, why didn't you just stay there? What made you decide to go into Julia's head? Were these other people good also?
No.
They were bad.
Yes.
Did you not feel that you had the power with these bad people and you felt going into Julia, who was good, would give you more power?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right. So can you describe where we are and who these people are? Did this happen in this lifetime or did it happen in a previous lifetime?
Long time.
Long time. So long time in this life or in another life?
Different life.
It's a different life. Okay. All right. Can you describe the moment you actually went into her head? Can you tell us what that looked like?
She was sad.
She was sad. So you took that opportunity to go into her head when she was sad in another lifetime.
Yes.
So, Pain, I have another question. So let's go back to the day when you actually died, when you were in a human body and made the decision to not go to the light, made the decision to stay here on this earth and live inside other human beings. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and I'd like you to go back to that time of your death, and we'll describe it then. 3, 2, and 1. You're there now. Pain, tell us what is happening during your death. How did you die?
I feel like suicide.
Oh, you feel like suicide, so you killed yourself. Okay. So why did you kill yourself? What was happening in your life, Pain, at that time that caused you to want to kill yourself?
Sad.
You felt very, very sad. Okay. All right. So what was your intention when you killed yourself? Why did you want to kill yourself?
To be free.
To be free. Okay, so at the time that you left the body, the human body here on this earth, where did you go?
Don't know.
You don't know where you went. But you chose to stay here on this, stay in and on this earth and live through other people. Why did you decide to do that instead of going to the light?
I couldn't.
You couldn't go to the light. And why is it you felt like you couldn't go to the light? Is it because of the way that you died?
Didn't know the way.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Didn't know the way.
You didn't know the way to the light. So, very good. So, Pain, if I were to tell you there is a way to go to that light now, would you go to that light if we could help you and assure you that it is safe? Would you go to that light?
Yes.
Very good. All right. So, Pain, we're going to send you to that beautiful, beautiful light called Source that is completely forgiving and all loving and no judgment. We're going to help you get to that light now. I am going to count from 3 down to 1. And when I say 1, you are going to be on your way to that light. And then I will ask you, when you are completely out of Julia's head, 3, 2, and 1. You're leaving Julia's head now, and you're on your way to that beautiful, beautiful bright light. It's a beautiful journey, completely safe. May God and his love be with you forever. Tell us when you are out of her head and you are a part of Source. Continuing to move, continuing to journey towards the light that is accepting and loving of you, very loving. No blame, no ridicule, no judgment. You are accepted. Tell me when you are there and out of her head.
Yeah.
Good, very good. So may the light and love be with you forever. Julia, now that we have Pain out of your head, we're going to scan your body down to your back. I want you to go to that area in your back that is bothering you, where you seem to have the most pain. When I count from 3 down to 1, you'll be there and you'll be able to describe that pain and tell us who that pain is. 3, 2, And 1, you're there now. Are you in attachment?
No, I feel my father's there.
You feel your
My neck,
father's,
my
uh,
neck.
your neck. You feel your father's death in
Yeah,
your neck. Okay. So it has made your neck extremely stiff so that you
yes,
cannot move it like you're paralyzed.
yeah.
Okay, Santos, I would like for you to help Julia to remove that stiffness from her neck. There is so much love and protection that comes from your spirit. Please help us remove the stiffness from her neck.
It's pain, a lot of pain.
Lot of pain. There's a lot of pain in her neck. And can you please help Julia remove that? Are you willing to help her remove that? Please tell us yes or no. How are you feeling now, Julia?
Better.
You're feeling better. Was Santos able to help you remove that pain?
He's still there, but it's better.
It's still there and better, so there's still a little bit left. So Santos, please continue to help us get rid of all of that stiffness in Julia's neck. She doesn't need it anymore. She doesn't want it anymore. And it's causing a lot of problems in her day-to-day life. Can you please help her to remove it all 100%? How does it?
Yes,
Oh, good. Very good. Okay, so it's completely gone. And Julia, you feel like you can move your neck much better now and like that stiffness and pain is gone?
yes.
Okay, very good. So, Santos, so is there any message that you have for Julia now that you have helped us to remove the pain and the entity that was causing her terrible headaches and the stiffness in her neck? Are there any other messages you have that you would like to share with her that would help her in addition to those healings, would help her have less stress in this life so she can remain healthy?
Keep, she's very spiritual. Keep faith.
Keep the faith and keep the spirituality.
Yes.
Okay, and how can she do that? At times when she gets very stressed and very concerned and worried about her family, what is one way that she can be assured to keep that faith and to keep that spirituality when times are difficult? Can she do that through meditation, through prayer, through her walks?
Walks, prayers. She tries meditation, but it's
Okay. So
keep
she,
practicing.
okay, so practicing, and that's good for her to practice. Do you agree, Santos?
Yes.
Okay, very, very good. So what is it you think you can do to acknowledge when you are feeling stressed? To tell yourself, you know what? I can tell I'm feeling stressed. My neck is getting a little bit stiff. My back is starting to hurt. What is it that you can do to help yourself acknowledge those things and then be able to start taking deep breaths and to relax, to not allow the stress to rule your life? What is it that Julia can do? Your subconscious will tell you now.
Think about that little girl in the field.
Think about that little girl in the field, the little blonde girl that was running around.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So she came up today for a reason, to remind you, Julia, that when things become difficult and you start to take on this stress, that you think of that little girl who was carefree and that ultimately everything works out. Julia, you know now that when your father passed away, it was not a difficult time for him. He was a little bit confused. It was sudden, but that his family and loved ones were there with him, and they were able to guide him on this beautiful journey to source. So you know that your father didn't suffer. Can that
He already knew he was going to die.
he already
That's
knew he was
that's
going to
that's
die?
why he woke me up.
Ah, so that was his way of telling you goodbye on this earth.
Yes.
But you can see, and you already knew, that when we leave this body, it really doesn't mean a death because your soul begins a new journey, but it continues to exist.
My father is my son.
Your father is your son, so he's reincarnated already.
Yes.
That's a beautiful story. And which son is your father?
My older son.
Is that Qatar?
Omar.
Omar?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. So when you look into Omar's eyes, you can see your father.
I feel the comfort.
You can feel the comfort. So you can feel his presence when you look into Omar's eyes.
Yes.
That's beautiful. So I would like to do one more scan, Julia, of your body. I would like the subconscious and your soul to help us scan Julia's body to see if there's anything else there that Julia needs to get rid of, anything that is attached to her in any place in her body that we need to get rid of. Do you see anything?
Lower back.
Lower back. Okay.
Hip. Back of the hips.
Back of the hips. What does that look like? What does that entity look like? What color is that entity?
Red.
Red. Okay. Let's ask that entity his name. Do you have a name? What shall we call you? Shall we call you Red?
Yes.
Okay. So, Red, why are you there?
I cause pain.
You cause pain. So that is your reason for being in her body, is to cause her pain. Okay, thank you for telling us that. Is your purpose to remind her of something?
Yes.
Okay. What is it that you're trying to remind her of?
Pain I caused.
The pain that you caused. Okay. So what is your purpose? What do you get out of showing her the pain? How does that help you?
Want help to heal.
So you're saying that you're showing Julia the pain to remind Julia to heal?
Yes.
Okay. What is it that happened in that area, either in this lifetime or a previous lifetime, that is causing her to feel that pain?
I abuse her.
You abused her. Okay. So how is it that you abuse her? Does it have something to do with the molestations that occurred earlier in her life?
Yes.
Okay. So after Julia was molested, both times when she was a little girl, is that when you chose to join her body? Is that when you came into her hip area?
Later.
Later. Okay, when she got older.
Yes.
Okay, pain. All right. So you say that the reason that you joined her was to remind her that she needs to heal. But there has to be, who sent you? Who sent you?
Guilt.
Guilt. Okay. Guilt. So the more guilt that Julia felt, the more she invited you in. Is that
No,
right? No.
no.
Please explain.
I got guilt.
Oh, pain is feeling guilt.
Yes.
Pain is feeling guilt. Why do you feel guilt?
She was a child.
Ah, okay. So we're back to Julia, and Julia was a child. And does Julia blame herself for what happened when she was molested both those times?
She was afraid.
She was afraid. That's
Yes.
true. Any child would be afraid if something like that was happening to them. But did she turn that fear into guilt at some point in her life?
Unconsciously.
Unconscious. And that's when you came in? That's when pain came in?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about that for a minute. Julia, I want you to go back to that time, the first time that the molestation occurred. I'm going to count from 3 down to 1. And when I get to 1, we'll be there. 3, 2, and 1. Be there now. Tell me what is happening to you, Julia.
Yeah. Someone is holding me and is touching me.
And he's touching you.
I don't like.
Are you
I
trying to
don't.
fight him?
Yes.
But this man is
Said,
very powerful. He's
yeah,
very
he's
strong and very powerful, and you can't
and
push him off of you.
no, and he said he'll kill my mom.
Well, he said he's going to kill your mom, and so
Yeah.
you have no power. You're trying to fight him off, but Julia, you have no power. He's much stronger than you can. So, Julia, do you realize that this is not your fault? This was another man who came on top of you and held you down, and you were just a little 5-year-old girl, and there's no way you could fight him off. You tried, but you couldn't. This is not your fault. Do you see that this is not your fault?
I know I were always was not my fault. But why?
So you were asking him why? Why is he doing this to you?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and ask him. Let's ask this man. We'd like to talk to you for a moment. Why did you do this horrible thing to her? Why did you overpower her? It has created so much destruction and pain in her lifetime. Why did you do this to her?
I like little girls.
You like little girls. Well, that may be a reason to satisfy your own pleasure, but do you realize the destruction that this has caused in Julia's life? Do you realize the stress that she carries and the guilt she has carried because of something you did to her? Do you see that?
Yeah. I feel guilty.
You feel guilty. Okay.
She
So,
has too much protection.
well, she does have a lot of protection. So, I think it's time now that you tell Julia that you are sorry that you caused this pain, that you're sorry on that day that you chose to molest her. I would like for you to tell Julia now that you are sorry. Please apologize to her. 3, 2, and 1. Go.
I sense sorrow, feeling of sorry,
Okay.
not fear or it's
All right. So, Julia, you can sense that he is sorry?
yes.
Okay. Very good. So we can feel that you are sorry, that you take responsibility for what you did. So,
Yes.
Julia, do you forgive him for the molestation? Do you forgive him for the pain that he has caused throughout your life?
I have.
Julia, do you realize that you no longer have to carry that pain any longer? That this was not your fault? That you couldn't do anything at all to stop it? And that there is no guilt there for you to have? Do you realize this?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I would like for you to look at him in the eyes, and I would like for you to tell him that you forgive him. However you'd like to do that, just tell him that you forgive him. Let me know when that is complete.
I said. I
Okay.
said it.
Okay. Very good.
And I asked him to go in peace.
Very, very good. So he has left you.
Yes.
So is that entity called red that is between your hips, in the back of your hips, is that still there? Or do you feel that that has also dissipated?
It says I don't feel pain right now.
Very good. Very good. I would like for you now, Julia, to do this one more time. And I would like for you to go to the second time you were molested by a different man. On the count of 3, you will be there. 3, 2, and 1. Please tell me what is happening.
No. No.
Tell me what's happening. What's he doing to you right now, Julia?
He grabbed me.
He grabbed you. Did he carry you somewhere?
Yes, in a hammock.
A hammock.
Yes.
What happens next?
He zipped his pants.
Okay, he's unzipping his pants. Okay, keep going.
I cannot move.
You can't move, so you're completely stuck again because he's too strong and he's overpowering you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to open my legs.
And you're trying to fight him,
Yeah.
and you continue to try and fight him.
Yeah.
What is it that you'd like to say to him right now? Right now, Julia, if you could scream something out, what is it that you would
Stop,
tell him?
stop, stop. Go, stop.
Keep telling him to stop. Tell him to go away.
Stop. Please go. Please go.
Okay, does he go away?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm still feeling.
Mm-hmm. So this is a circumstance very similar to the other circumstance, right? You have
Yeah.
been carrying this guilt as well. You've been feeling like somehow you caused this molestation as well, but you can see that you didn't, Julia. I saw you try to fight him off. I heard you scream out to tell him to go away, but he was just too strong for your little body. There was no way you could fight him off. This is not a guilt that you should accept. You couldn't help yourself. Do you see that now?
I see. I don't know. Intellectually, I saw it. Long ago, I prayed and I asked God to forgive these people, all the people caused me the pain and show their way
Does
in
Julia
peace.
forgive herself? Or is Julia still feel partially responsible for this molestation?
She was always afraid.
She was always afraid?
Yes.
Does she feel partially responsible for this molestation as well?
No.
No. Okay. Very good. All right. So let's talk to this person who committed this molestation. Julia, do you forgive him for that crime he committed?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. And so being that this all comes back to the entity called Red, I would like to send you off to the light so that you can live and exist within Source. Are you ready to do that now, Red?
Yes.
Okay. Julia, I would like for you to pull that entity out of your hip area, out of your abdominal area. Pull Red out and help Red go to the light. On the count of